قد جاء مهديكم وظهرت آية فاسعوا بصدق القلب يا فتياني.
السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. اس ویڈیو میں ہم صداقت حضرت احمد علیہ السلام کے لیے ایک اور دلیل پیش کریں گے، اور وہ دلیل الیگزینڈر ڈاوی کی ہلاکت ہے.
The United States is one of the countries where the message and instruction of the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam reached during his lifetime. And the manner in which this occurred was no ordinary event. In fact, the message of the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam reached the United States as a result of a person called John Alexander Dowie. This despicable man repeatedly used the most hateful and abusive language against the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He also claimed that very soon the religion of Islam would be wiped off the face of the earth. He was utterly relentless in his abuse and falsehoods. And Dowie did not just stop there, but went even further, for he presented himself to the world as a prophet of God. The unparalleled sense of honor and love that Prophet Messiah alayhi salam felt for the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and for Islam was such that he could not bear the repeated claims, abuse, and profanity uttered by Dowie. The Prophet Messiah thus said, "This liar and fraudulent man is a most dangerous enemy of Islam, and so it would be better if an open letter addressed to him is printed and sent to him, and he should be called to take part in a challenge. In the world today, there is no true religion except Islam, and it is only in support of Islam that true signs and the blessings of God are manifested. Thus, it is my certain belief that if this liar challenges me, then he will suffer a great defeat. Now the time has come whereby he will be fiercely punished for his vast deceit." Thus the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam challenged Alexander Dowie to a mubahala, that is a prayer duel. This challenge was published in various newspapers, and the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam repeated his challenge to Dowie again and again. Indeed, news of the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam's challenge was also widely circulated here in the newspapers of the United States. And this is something that the Prophet Messiah alayhi salam himself mentioned in his book Haqiqatul-Wahi. When news of the challenge reached Alexander Dowie, he was asked to give a reply, and so he responded by speaking in the most derogatory terms about Hazrat Ahmad. He said, "In India, there is a Muhammadan Messiah who keeps on writing to me that Jesus is buried in Kashmir people ask me, why do I not send him the necessary reply? Do you think that I should answer such gnats and flies? If I were to put my foot on them, I would crush them to death. The fact is that I merely give them a chance to fly away and survive. The Prophet Messiah ﷺ said that regardless of whether Dowie accepted his challenge or not, he and his town could not escape the divine wrath and so would suffer a great calamity at the hands of God. On 20th June 1903, a well-known Chicago-based newspaper featured an article about the Prophet Messiah ﷺ's challenge. Indeed, the headline was, "Will Dowie escape this challenge?" In the article, the pictures of Prophet Messiah ﷺ and Dowie were placed side by side alongside the following text. Mirza says that Dowie is a liar and that he prays to God for Dowie to be destroyed during his lifetime. He also says that the method of determining between a false and a truthful person is to pray to God that the liar amongst them should perish within the lifetime of the truthful one. This was the Prophet Messiah's challenge, and the world then witnessed the result, which was exactly as the Prophet Messiah ﷺ had prophesied. The humiliating decline of Dowie was there for all to see. Whilst at the peak of his powers and in an effort to demonstrate his strength and holiness, Dowie organized a large conference where he wished to influence the audience with an enchanting and magical display of the powers of his speech. He had planned this great event for many months, but when the moment finally arrived and he got up to speak, instead of delivering a powerful address, Dowie's voice suddenly changed and he started making very strange and absurd noises. He could no longer control his tongue, and so where he had expected to impress everyone with his style and delivery, instead the very opposite occurred. He was left humiliated as the audience became disgusted and quickly began to leave the gathering. Thus, the event in which he planned to show his mastery and powers instead came to be the beginning of a very humiliating and steep decline. After this event, his entire life fell apart. He suffered from paralysis. His wife left him. His children died without ever marrying. And today we find no trace whatsoever of Dowie's progeny anywhere in the world. Within just 2 years of the prophecy, that person who tried to stand up to the challenge of the Prophet Messiah ﷺ was completely destroyed, and the tongue from which flowed the most horrific levels of abuse towards the Holy Prophet ﷺ was cut once and for all. The only legacy that he left was of disgrace and bitter humiliation. That was the end faced by Dowie. But what of his challenger, the Prophet Messiah ﷺ? Let us see and observe with what glory and magnificence did Allah fulfill his promise to the true servant of the Holy Prophet, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, of continuously increasing his spiritual and physical progeny.
اب تو الحمدللہ جماعت اسلام احمدیہ زائن میں بھی پھیل چکی ہے اور اب ہماری وہاں پہ ایک بہت بڑی مسجد بھی بن رہی ہے الحمدللہ. If you have not yet subscribed, make sure to subscribe and click on the bell icon so you can get notifications for every new video. Also make sure to like and comment on the video and follow on Twitter and Instagram.
نبينا صل على محمد صل على سفينا صل على محمد